The massive archipelago area has finally arrived, and there are 5 awesome secrets you could be missing out on. Moving around the map, you've probably noticed a lonely island hanging by itself on the outer edge of the world, but trying to make a trip there would be futile without a special secret guiding you through the fog. So, in order to reach the island, you will first need to find a journal that's hidden in a cave, which you will find by directly teleporting to Twinning Isle, and then running in this direction, jumping off and gliding, until you notice a deep crevice into the mountainous area, which will be blocked off by a destructible wall that you've probably seen during your explorations. Take out the wall and find the journal sitting on a table by itself. In these notes, you will find an answer to the fog that's been blocking your way, which will start a quest called A Trip Through Fog and Wind. And MiHoYo was kind enough to abstain from being too cryptic, so all you have to do is head to the marked location by the quest and advance the time between 10 and 2 o'clock. Now, once you're at the right place and the right time, the thing you want to do is start by looking for these small wind breezes that will act as your guide through the misty fog, so just navigate your cute little ship following the windy path and don't fall into one of those whirlpools. Soon enough, you'll arrive at the long-awaited destination, where you will find 3 precious chests waiting for you, but before you teleport away, there's 2 things you still need to do. First, near the chests, you will find a mural painting on the rocky surface that will initiate a long quest chain for the hunt for the rest of the murals, but in order to capture them, you need to take a picture by going into the menu and using the photo mode, which you will see get confirmed once the photo of the mural shows up in your backpack. Finally, make a quick run around the tiny island and find yourself a couple of more chests, which are probably going to be at the same place as for everybody else, but if you find more, make sure to let everyone know in the comments. Hopefully, this mural and the journal answer some initial questions you've had about the mysterious archipelago zone, but there's more secrets we need to uncover. The last thing you would expect when running around these new islands would be a familiar face, well, at least a familiar ghost-like face, because if you head on over to Minacious Island teleport point and run all the way back to the other end of it, you will notice a lonely Seelie just hanging all by itself, and when you get close enough to it, you will trigger a new secret quest called the Winding Homeward Way. Follow the Seelie until the little fella goes over a large column which will light up and reveal elemental system symbols, and since this isn't your first secret, you already know they have a purpose, which is going to be the order in which the actual elemental puzzle pieces need to be lit up, and if you look around, you will find these pieces scattered all over the place, some of which are pretty high up, and without the matching element bow user, you're going to need to do some cardio exercises and run up close to those pieces instead. But start by activating cryo, then animo, followed by pyro, and then finally hydro puzzle pieces, which will then spawn a weird wormhole which your Seelie friend is going to be heading at, so follow along this trip and find out what's on the other side by yourself. Now before you leave, don't forget we're still on the lookout for the remaining murals of the archipelago, and you can also find one on this island by going to this location and taking a picture of it. Store that photo safely into your backpack, and let's move on to the next secret. If you thought wormholes and Seelies were a strange sight, this next one is even more ridiculous. If you head to one of the broken isles without a teleportation point, you will find 2 things there. First of all, there's a 3rd mural painted on the wall that showcases a broken ship in half that's definitely not going to foreshadow what's to come next. After taking the picture, start climbing up the mountain, and before you know it, the ship itself, or at least half of it, is resting on top of this lonely mountain. Find an interaction point and take a piece of plank from the ship, which will then trigger a secret quest called From the Outer Lands, and your next goal is to find the other half of the ship, and you can actually find it back at one of the remote Twinning Isles, which will have a skiff waypoint and some enemies waiting to ambush you. Take care of them and take the other plank from the remainder of the ship, and now we can put the 2 pieces of planks together, which will reveal a message that there's some kind of sunken treasure hidden in the sea, and a massive area will highlight the radius for your search to begin. Also, you can do the quest from the other way around by going to the other broken half of the ship, so it's really just a matter of preference from which end you want to begin, but if order doesn't matter here, then this next secret is definitely going to demand it. This is probably going to be a stretch calling this a secret when you've got a massive island dedicated to it, but you never know. So at the center of the broken isle, you will find the 4th mural hidden in a cavern that's on a ground level. Now if your eyes are sharp enough, you will notice some weird distributions made throughout the picture, but long story short, the whole island has 5 exact spots of pools where you will need to manage their water levels by using this weird rock contraption that signifies up and down arrows. You can figure this out by yourself, or you can look at this map here and soak it in how you need to set these water levels, which can either be low, mid, or high, and you can see that their levels are marked when looking at the number of lines that light up at the pool. Now, once you're done having fun with gliding and climbing to all those 5 water pools, the next thing you need to do is head on over to the skiff waypoint of the island, and you will find 5 giant pole structures on the ground, as well as 5 more weird stone contraptions you saw back at the pools. Basically, what you've been doing this whole time was fine-tuning the musical instrument, which is the island itself, and the last thing you need to do is to play the song. Look behind you and identify the marked lines on each of the columns. What you need to do is step on each of the stone contraptions beginning from the first line all the way to the 5th. Follow the order closely and you will hear a beautiful song that will make you feel better for all the work you did. However, the saying that it's not the destination but the journey that counts doesn't apply in Genshin here, so MiHoYo made sure to give us 3 treasure chests for all the sweat and tears. Now that the biggest mystery puzzle has been solved, the only thing that remains are those weird pictures we've been seeing. These murals we've been taking pictures of are trying to tell us the story about the archipelago, so if we want to find out, we need to locate the last mural that's remaining. But before we do, here's the 4 locations you've seen previously, just for the sake of convenience, so you don't have to go back and forth throughout the video. Now, the last one is located on the biggest Twinning Isle part, where you just need to walk inside the ark and find the mural resting there. Take the picture and Paimon will tell us that we should head on over to Mondstadt and talk to Said in the Favonia's headquarters library. Once you travel and meet up with the researcher, he will finally reveal the secret that's shrouding the archipelago, so make sure to listen closely to his tale. Or, you know, just collect the measly rewards and move on with your daily life. But to quickly summarize, there's a total of 4 major secrets located in the archipelago, starting with the first one, where we'll need to first locate the journal, and then use it to reach the lonely island on the northern part of the zone. Next would be a lost Seelie from Mondstadt, which you will need to follow and then open a wormhole by solving a puzzle that for some can be easy and others tedious to say the least. Then there's a ship that's been broken into 2 parts, and whichever first one you will find starts the quest to locate the remainder of its significant other, which will then lead you to a sunken treasure hunt. Finally, the broken isle contains a massive musical puzzle that you'll need to solve by adjusting the water levels of each pool and then playing the tune near the skiff waypoint. But if you've been watching till this part, here's a quick secret that you might have missed. You will encounter some bubbles in the sea and you sadly won't be able to pop them, but the next best thing you can do is follow them one by one, which will lead you to some free Mora if you're patient enough. And that's basically it. There's a lot more or less secretive things you can find, like a ton of puzzles that you can solve with your new gadget, the Harpastum, but that's really not worth mentioning in the video since MiHoYo made sure to let us know how it works several times, even if it's essentially just a ball you throw around. Speaking of throwing out things, keep in mind the archipelago will not overstay its welcome and will only be available throughout the 1.6 update, so make sure to solve all of these secrets and locate many more chests hidden in the island to maximize your free rewards. Honestly, at this point it's clear that Inazuma is going to be the next update since there's some unique things that definitely won't go away with the island, so the next logical thing to do would be to transport them to Inazuma once the archipelago disappears. All the more reason you should be scavenging anything that looks like a primo gem for those sweet Inazuma characters. Since it's not like every update we get a new zone with a known amount of primo gems waiting to be uncovered, and this is still an open world game, and if you're one of those players who are compulsive spenders or would like to plan more ahead with the arrival of Kazuha, this new continent is surely going to give us the long needed exploration we were missing out since the Dragonspine update. If you found this video useful for finding secrets, you can help out the channel by sharing this video with your friends and on your social media. Leave a comment with other secrets you have discovered in the archipelago, but don't forget to subscribe and enable the bell notification on, as well as make sure to gently press the like button. Thank you for watching and see you next time.